Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the live stream. This is called Vimoh Live, and that's because I'm Vimoh and this is live. It happens every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Today's live stream, as usual, is about just me answering questions and maybe taking some calls. And we might have someone dropping by, someone you all know very well and are kind of frankly tired of, but we'll see if he comes. Uh, so I was looking for a topic for today, and I couldn't decide on one, and nothing is happening in the news. Also, I went through all of it, and you know, uh, so it's a really boring day, and I don't know what to talk about. Did something interesting happen today? Did like something monumentally important that has to do with the country and its future and its political landscape? Did it happen today? If yes, let me know in the chat because I'm frankly completely clueless. I don't know what happened. But before we proceed with our completely inane chat, let me just remind everyone that uh, uh, Harsha says, "Why aren't you forgetting the ticker nowadays? We can't remind you of the ticker this way." Okay. Uh, I will pretend to forget next time so you can remind me. These days, what I'm doing is that I'm starting the live stream a little early so that uh, people have time to join the chat and leave some questions in advance. Nobody does. People just sit and wait till 8 o'clock and then start commenting. I'm there. Like you can still leave the comment when the live stream starts, but nobody does. But yeah, I will remind everyone that this live stream is sponsored by you. If you want to support it, you can click the join button below and become a member of the channel, or you can send super chats, all of which goes into helping me buy books and software and paying my electricity bill and my internet bill and all that. So thanks in advance for that. Also, if you want to support the channel on Patreon, you can do so at patreon.com/Vimoh, or you can go to my blog at vimoh.stck.me and click the support button there and make a one-time contribution. That all helps. There is also merch at kadakmerch.com/Vimoh Live. There are t-shirts and stuff that you can buy. You can go to the main page of this channel and click on the store tab, and there also you'll see all the options. So you can buy those, and you can find out the you can support the channel. Find out the I don't know what I was saying when I said that you can buy a T-shirt and find something out. That's not how life works. T-shirts have never given anyone any wisdom. So, hi. I think our guest is here. Our very well respected Meghnad. Hi, Meghnad.
Hello.
Kya chal
Hi.
raha hai?
How are you doing?
Good, good. I was just asking people what today's topic should be because I went through the news and I couldn't find anything major. So, do you have something that we can do? You think something important happened today?
Yeah, I was also wondering. I saw your title saying it's a boring day. It is definitely a boring day, right?
Yeah, like who really, really desperate for some topic to talk about, and nobody's helping me out in the chat either. So, how you been?
there are. I've been good. Really enjoyed myself today. Obsessing over
Watching
the
TV?
election results. Yeah. No,
Did you
not.
enjoy
I mean,
yourself? Did you enjoy yourself more because you had nothing to do with it? Like you didn't have to do anything?
precisely. Like
That
I can
happens.
just be. I can just be like my biased self when
Yeah,
like give my commentary. Also, I don't have this like, oh, you have to be a neutral journalist anymore,
yeah. I
which
also
feels
don't miss
nice.
that. I also don't
Yeah.
miss that. Did you also like see your former colleagues going about doing proper journalism and feel like how do you feel when you see your former colleagues doing like what you used to do? Do you feel like I wish I could do that, or I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore?
I miss the on ground stuff for sure. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
going on ground, talking to people, actually understanding what is happening, and then finally realizing later after the results that holy shit, yeah, we were right. Like what
Hmm.
we saw was and heard was true. Yeah, I miss that part because यहाँ पे बैठ के कहीं पे भी बैठ के I can't. I mean, I don't know what is happening then. Like now I
Yeah.
know for sure that any
Hmm.
opinion that I give sitting outside of the actual state where elections are happening doesn't matter. Like
Mostly
I
worthless.
know
Yeah.
jack shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
It's practically,
And
it's almost entertaining. I was thinking the other day if I could reverse time, like, an election happens, one party wins, and then the experts all come in and say, this is why they won, this is why these guys lost. And I was like, if I can reverse time and change the future where the other party wins, what these same guys would be coming up with extremely expert responses to questions like why these guys won and those guys lost.
you don't have to do a time machine, because in the morning, for example, right, I've been watching like some news idhar udhar ka.
Hmm.
So I usually follow the election commission website for
Hmm.
numbers, right? Like you just like, no, 9 o'clock they start giving leads, and since then they go on till like 4 5. I just keep refreshing and I get my numbers. But the
Hmm.
funniest thing is how all different channels have different numbers, right? Some show like, oh, BJP is leading,
Yeah,
some
yeah,
show like Congress is. So it's like, it's funny how like by 10 p.m. they've all made up their mind, and then it's like, it's just like 5% of votes counted, and then they've like, oh, BJP is winning, and then they give like opinions based on that, right? Then an
yeah.
hour later they see that Congress is surging, they're like, and then their opinions change and become the opposite. Then they
Yeah.
see like BJP is surging, then they go back to that. It's
No,
bizarre.
they're mostly the opinions are not changing 180 degrees. They're just padding it a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
it seems very clear that these guys are going to win, but who knows? And
What would
oh, see, those people are still, I mean, rising. But some channels are like extremely, like the bias is very visible. Like I saw a thumbnail on one channel which says बीजेपी के number धीरे धीरे बढ़ रहे हैं. At a time when they
Yeah.
were like, yes, it was showing 70 or something. And there was another
Yeah.
channel which though in the morning, like at 8:45 p.m., their thumbnail was "आ गए चुनाव के नतीजे."
No, and also funnily enough, so like, because I think around 12ish, 11, 12ish, people
Uh,
realize that Congress is winning.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? About
And
50%
then
of
it
the
was
votes
like
were
we
counted.
were right. Our exit polls were completely right. We're proud to announce that we were the only ones who got it right and stuff like that.
One
Except our
only
government.
one got it right, to be honest.
Which one exactly?
India Today, My Access, they got it bang on.
Huh.
Now I know that because their sample size is so big, and I've actually interviewed the person who does it,
Isn't
Pradeep
that the
Gupta.
gentleman who danced after the Delhi election
Yeah,
results came out?
he's
Huh.
Rajdeep's dance partner. He tried
Huh,
to do
huh,
it today also,
huh.
and they cut a cake for him and all, whatever.
Okay.
But so he basically explained how intense his job is, about how
Hmm.
many sample sizes and opinions he has to count and everything, and remove biases and give like a solid like exit poll. But that aside, like that they were the only ones who got it right. But some channels, so they realized by 12 that, okay, done, like Congress winning, they moved to UP municipal elections जहाँ पे BJP जीत रहा
Yeah.
है. So that's it, like, okay. And फिर Karnataka का number suddenly became tiny and some in corner, and BJP का winning in municipal elections became like this big thing. Even now
Somebody
today,
pointed
I
out that.
think
Huh.
Times
Sorry.
Now is doing this debate today only about how UP and Karnataka, basically they're just pitting it together now,
The same thing.
and they're like, yeah, it's like, UP may, of
It's
course,
all the same
2024 we're
thing.
winning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was this interesting thing that happened, which where like obviously some people will say that after Karnataka has been lost in such a humiliating way,
Yeah,
2024 fate of the party might be affected, and the Congress will obviously say, yeah, yeah, it's going to rejuvenate the Congress cadre and everything, and the BJP is always going to say, no, no, this is not an indication of what is going to happen in 24. But by and large, the impact of something like this was always going to be in the mind space. It's not like
yeah, yeah.
Karnataka voters are going to be the deciding factor, right? It's always going to be people like it's like you think that someone can't lose, and then they suffer a huge defeat, and you're like, hey, maybe they can lose. So when someone is saying that it's going to affect 2024, or someone is saying that it's not going to affect 2024, they're both playing the same game. Like one
Yeah,
is trying to, yeah, yeah, we're going to lose. The other one's like, no, no, we can't lose. It's like they're just trying to reinforce those ideas in people's minds.
it's all about the narrative, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
this, like, I mean, and the what why I think, so I think today was significant for sure, right? Like, just going by how they campaigned, it was super significant for two reasons. One was on the Congress front, the whole Bharat Jodo Yatra, right?
yeah.
Nobody had any idea if it had any impact, right? Like, everybody is like, yeah, ye to chal raha hai, chalte ja raha hai, he's not even going to election states,
They
etc.
spent,
But
I think,
this,
भारत जोड़ो यात्रा का जो कर्नाटका stretch था, it was 19 days.
yeah, yeah, it
One of the
was.
longest. One of the
Yeah,
longest.
and it was, and actually, Jairam Ramesh tweeted this thing where he basically showed the impact of Bharat Jodo Yatra, where Rahul Gandhi's Yatra passed through like some constituencies, some 20 constituencies. Earlier, they had 5 seats, and now they have 15. So basically, there was definitely an impact of the whole Yatra that he did, right? And he went through Rajasthan also, right? If you
Hmm.
remember, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, which are also coming up now. So, even though Gujarat was not a big thing. But so that was one, which is the Congress ka Bharat Jodo Yatra,
I
whether
don't
it
think it
had an
passed through
impact or
Gujarat,
not.
right?
No, it didn't. That's what
It
people
didn't.
were criticizing him for. Like,
But
election ho
it
raha hai aur
also
ye
didn't
to
go
yahi
through
se chal
Odisha.
ke ja raha
So
hai.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. North to south,
dude,
इससे सही ज़्यादा.
he's going from south to north. It's a logistical nightmare to go like
Right होता है,
ऐसे
थंडरबोल्ट
like,
बनता है ऐसे करके. हाँ.
yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, election kahan pe aa raha hai, main udhar hi jayega. No, it's symbolic. But the other thing was the BJP's campaign. It was very toxic this
It
time.
was in Karnataka.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
for the most part I thought it was vacuous.
But think about it, right? We had spoken about this, I think, a year ago about the hijab ban.
Mm-hmm.
Karnataka, all
Mm.
the like all the vigilantism, love jihad, anti-conversion, Karnataka, especially coastal Karnataka. Even now, this whole Kerala story thing came out. Again, they wanted
Mm.
like that impact in Karnataka because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
made
yeah.
it tax free. They were doing screenings, and president went to CMs went to see it. Whatever nonsense they're doing.
Mm.
So I feel like they had ramped up their Hindutva sort of angle for the
Mm.
campaign for sure. Because also this whole Bajrangbali thing was very interesting. What did you think of that? Do you know what happened there?
Yeah, I know what happened. I'm unsure of what kind of impact it had.
Mm,
Some people are saying, like I've been listening to experts, so-called experts, the whole day. Some people are saying that if the Congress had not created the Bajrang Dal point in the manifesto, then the BJP would have been even further back. Like whatever
right.
little growth they got was because of it. Some are saying no, they did the right thing, and this is exactly how this election or all elections against such ideology should be fought. Some are saying that uh, the BJP did not have any issue, and the
Mm.
Congress just handed them this on a platter. I'm not sure what to think of it. What do you think?
I feel like the thing is one thing again we I think tend to miss out on all this Delhi commentary is that I feel like the five promises that Rahul Gandhi made everywhere he went were
Hmm.
also based on his travels.
Yeah.
Because think about it, right? Bharat
Yeah,
Jodo
it was
Yatra,
ground
as you
level
said,
feedback taking and forming an election strategy, which is brilliant.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
basically direct like indication of what people are feeling. So maybe one of the things he got was this, which is
Yeah.
that Bajrang Dal se log pareshan hai, right?
Hmm.
And so no matter what, how much you conflate it into like, oh, you're insulting a god or whatever, like jo bhi kar rahe ho, but
Hmm.
on and they didn't back down from this. Like, I mean, they were like, some of them were doubtful,
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
people were
Yeah.
like,
That's
some
what I
within the
loved about.
Congress were also
Yeah.
doubtful,
Hmm.
but they didn't back down. They were like, yeah, it is a part of our manifesto. ठीक है. But this whole commentary which you said, which is like, oh, you just handed it on a platter to the BJP, etc. I also started thinking that, which is actually the powerful narrative part which I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
But now that I think of it, actually it worked well for them.
Do you
Um,
think so? So you're of the view that uh, the Bajrangbali thing was made up by the Prime Minister. Then the Congress responded to it in the way that they did, and that turned out to be an advantage.
so the Congress started it, to be honest. Like, their manifesto said
No, the
that they're going to.
so depends on what you think the issue was. Was the issue Bajrang Dal or Bajrang Bali? Because the BJP
Bajrang
interpreted it
Dal was
as
the issue.
Bajrang. Ha,
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. So
Ha,
Bajrang Dal issue started from the Congress.
hmm.
BJP turned it into a Bajrang Bali issue
Bali
for
issue, yeah.
obvious reasons. And then basically the whole thing was, I feel like maybe like I was also feeling this ki, why are you equating this very obviously violent group of people with a beloved god? Okay, beloved.
Yeah,
Like, I
that's
mean,
what
like
they do
in the
all the
minds
time
of,
now. Like
yeah,
this whole Jai Shri Ram becoming a slogan being used by people before they oppress or riot. It's a like it's a thing that they do all the time. They take something sacred, they use
yeah.
it as an excuse for acting in a certain way, and then the definition of that thing changes. Like even people who are happy to say Vande Mataram or Jai Shri Ram will hesitate to do so because of these guys.
Because now it has some connotation which you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and like
And
Yellow
that's what the
Satan is
Prime
saying,
Minister did. Somebody pointed out that this Bajrang Bali conversion of the Bajrang Dal issue could have been done by a lesser leader of the BJP. The Prime Minister doing it showed incredible amounts of intellectual bankruptcy.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I don't think, but even this whole Kerala thing, like, so I think Home Minister went and said that, oh, Kerala is your neighbor, think about that and
Yeah, yeah,
vote
yeah.
for us.
He's done that
Like,
before also.
yeah, so he
Yeah,
uses Kerala as the villain. I think that is also a little weird, because of course there are people from Kerala who are also going to Karnataka every once in a
yeah,
while.
yeah, yeah.
Then
I'm
it's a
pretty
close
sure
by
that from
state.
now on, when the election is in Kerala and they go and give speeches, they will say Karnataka ke baare mein socho. It's right there. Their entire
It's
election
ridiculous.
strategy is creating divides. Like, they find a
Hmm.
little bit of a crack, they put their hand in it, they make it wider so that people start
Hmm.
fighting each other. And then in that chaos, they manage to just stand by whoever is more powerful and become
Yeah.
powerful. Yeah.
Also, there was this other thing that they tried, which is like Sonia Gandhi, they misinterpreted some words and they said that she
Deliberate.
wants
That was not a
Karnataka to be
misinterpretation, it
separate.
was a misinformation.
I mean,
Sovereignty
misinformation,
wala
right?
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
uh, and they basically said that Karnataka wants to be separate now. कुछ भी मतलब, I mean,
Kuch
like,
bhi.
just कुछ भी हो रहा है, right?
And the
And
thing is, it might have worked. Like, it's that Scooby Doo situation where जो last में villain आता है उसका mask खोलते हुए वो बोलता है, and I would have succeeded had it not been for you meddling kids. I think they would have
yeah.
succeeded had it not been for the fact that unemployment, infrastructure issues, prices, corruption, these are all issues that everyone wanted them to talk about and they didn't.
Yeah. And
That
also,
entire
like, some of the journalist friends that I've been talking with recently
हाँ
on the Karnataka thing. So we've been featuring like some people on page 10 as well, like this show that I do. So Anusha is one person who is like, who works for this place called South First. So she's been giving news on what is happening. She said this corruption thing was huge,
yeah.
like the whole 40% sarkara thing that they came up with. uh that had a massive impact on people, by the way. So it's like 2012, where, like, oh, corruption hai, and, like, where corruption becomes like this central issue of the ruling party doing it, and then them having no response to it, and then like the opposition taking advantage of it to actually gain power. It was like sort of like that also, to a large extent.
I feel like it must be, at least for the BJP supporters in Bangalore. And Bangalore was supposed to be, like, because it's an urban center, it was supposed to be one of the places where the BJP is going to do well because
Yeah.
a large number of their base is urban, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like at least some of them would have wanted the BJP to at least say something about corruption,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
at
I
least to
agree.
address
Yeah.
the issue. Yeah, but it didn't happen. And so, by the way,
I mean, they
everyone,
had
please.
no response. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone, please listen to Nadir and like this live stream because that's how YouTube helps us discover more audiences and helps more people discover the live stream. Thank you. So, what did you think of Bangalore? Like, have you gone through the numbers?
Not exactly very closely.
Okay.
Surface level पे mostly.
तो बैंगलोर में
But
जैसा सोचा जा रहा था उससे बेटर किया ना कांग्रेस ने?
I think like they were expecting more numbers in Bangalore or something. But like, I mean,
ओह!
BJP was, but
हाँ,
like
हाँ,
it
हाँ.
didn't get
Yeah.
as many. But still, I think. Wait, let me just check. It should. We'll have to check the numbers first. Then we'll
If you want to
comment
share
on
something
it.
on screen, feel free. I'll just go through the
Yeah.
comments and talk a few.
Yeah, yeah. Talk to the people.
Uh, Okay, people are bringing up native issues of Bangalore, which I cannot comment on because I'm not someone who lives there.
Hmm.
Uh,
Which are
okay,
what?
some people. You have you spent much time in Bangalore? Will you be able to understand the names of flyovers and stuff like
No.
that?
No.
Like there's a infrastructure reminds me. Ejipura flyover was under construction for 6 years now. Every time BBMP officials change, contracts are cancelled, accusing previous officials of corruption.
Okay.
Then there is another one which was
This flyover
we
had come up sometime when I was looking at some debate. I feel like this name had come up. The
Ejipura.
Ejipura flyover. It's apparently
Acha.
a major flyover which everybody was talking about, and then this was the center of the whole corruption thing.
Mhm. Amit says people were banned from eating, playing, and public displays of affection in Kabon Park, Bangalore. What is the point of
Mm.
public spaces is if you're not allowed to do anything in those? Yeah, exactly. We don't have like we are culturally kind of against individualism in public spaces. You
Mm.
gather a bunch of people and chant slogans to dehumanizing slogans. Everyone will be okay with it. But no, if you take your kids to a park, you have to behave in a certain way. If you take a girlfriend to a park, you have to behave in a certain way. It's more a culture issue. And if a political party's strategy towards election is that I'll just take the side that most people, the more powerful people who are wanting to oppress the less powerful people, I'll take the more powerful people's side, then sure, of course, you're going to end up with situations like this.
So looks like wait, I'll have to count this. Why didn't they count this for me?
Share on screen now, you can present it.
Wait, I can present it. Can you see it? I think I have added the
Yeah,
screen,
it
but
is.
you'll have to allow the
Here it is.
screen.
Here it is.
Yeah,
You can zoom in a little. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
a little more.
Now,
It's visible.
yeah. So Congress party is leading whatever. So this is the table, but
No,
they
it's
have
still
not
awaited,
given
right?
a
It's still
total.
awaited.
So if you see it,
I think 136 and 65 is kind of the final, right?
it's still leading in 1 and 2. So 3 seats are left just to declare.
Okay.
136 and 65.
Hmm.
65, dude. That's the thing. I mean, like, they were somewhere predicting 80. Uh,
Huh.
65 is a bit, like, sad for them.
Yeah.
And JDS was also less, actually, 19. They were expecting more than
What
that.
they're saying is that the Congress got the benefit of people moving away from JDS.
Hmm. That's true. Like, I mean, Congress did take up a lot of their vote share. So Congress had
Rakshit,
like 43%.
Rakshit sends Exodus and says Congress getting significant seats in Dakshin Kannada gives me hope, which has been traditional BJP bastion in Karnataka. Congress got significant seats in Dakshin Kannada because I thought South Bangalore, not South Bangalore, sorry, coastal Karnataka. That's not South, right?
Hmm. No. Coastal
Coastal would be,
Karnataka
yeah,
is,
coastal would be
yeah,
west. Yeah.
yeah. The coastal Karnataka, they got better seats. South, I think
Who
old
got?
Mysuru region is what it's called.
Who did?
Uh,
Who did better in coastal?
Congress did better.
Congress
Coastal
did.
mein BJP did better.
Coastal did better. BJP did better
Huh,
because they were
huh,
always
huh.
going to do better there. That was their
Yeah.
laboratory.
Yeah. And Mumbai, Karnataka also, I think Congress performed better than BJP.
Okay, Taranga points out INC has 136 plus one in alliance plus two others, including one independent, have declared alliance with INC. Okay.
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 Fair enough. So
Karnataka feels like a state
137
that is
plus
like
2, which is 139, is what the number is essentially.
okay. This was apparently just announced in the press conference. Cool.
Right. We'll have to count
Did you
this, but
see?
who is counting
Did you
this? It's
see?
okay.
Did you see any prominent Godi media reactions to this?
Oh, yes. Oh my God. So
I have
I was
seen
watching.
Arnab's and
Hmm.
what's the other guy's name? The guy who put on the space suit and stood in front of a green screen.
What's his name, man? Deepak?
Deepak Chaurasia. Yeah.
Deepak Chaurasia. Yeah. So like the reactions again, predictable. Sudhir Chaudhary was all like, "Oh, why are these poor so stupid?" Sort of arguments, which is like freebie chahiye sabko types,
दिल्ली
which
पार्ट
is
टू
his
वो
usual thing. Like
दिल्ली में जो बोला था वही बोला हाँ
same to same. It's like, oh, the uneducated voted for Congress, so hint, what is happening.
which was
Uh,
people of 136 seats apparently.
Apparently,
But then the
and
Congress has
then
also said this. The Congress said that this is a victory of the poor over the crony capitalists.
yeah. And
Yeah.
what's so wrong with that? I mean, like, I don't
Yeah.
understand why this is such a bad thing. So
I
they
was
make it
I
look
found
like a bad thing.
what I found bizarre is that there was one BJP spokesperson who said that तुष्टिकरण की राजनीति जीती एंड माय आई वांटेड टू आस्क हिम किसका तुष्टिकरण 136 सीट में तुष्टिकरण हो रहा था आर यू सेइंग दैट जिसका तुष्टिकरण हो रहा था वो मेजोरिटी में है उस स्टेट में नहीं है ऑब्वियसली और तुम लोग ने तो साफ साफ बोल दिया था तुमको मुस्लिम वोट नहीं चाहिए तो अभी क्यों रो रहे हो
Oh, and so there's this other, I think Sanju Verma, one of their, yeah. So she had a meltdown everywhere. Oh my God, she was loud and annoying. Arnab actually schooled her, like, which was like very interesting. It was like he was like, Sanju,
Told her
please
in what way
accept your defeat.
I
He's
thought
like,
Arnab was in denial
No, Arnab, I mean, he was doing the UP thing, but like he was also like, he told her, ki, listen, accept your defeat. We have also all accepted that BJP has lost. So you also do it. No, like you have to, your tone needs to be better, etc. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, Arnab is tone policing suddenly. I was like, kya ho raha hai? And then the worst thing that I saw was Amit Malviya
Yeah,
screaming
that's
at
what
Rajdeep
Rakshit says.
Sardesai.
Amit Mallya versus Rajdeep in India Today. Bernal. Yeah, he was. It was disgraceful.
It was
Like
this, I
obviously, I
got
I
so
don't
mad.
expect anything better from people like that, but it was disgraceful.
It was disgraceful. Plus, I just don't understand why Rajdeep Sardesai just doesn't cut them off. Does he not
He
have the
did. He did.
power
He
to
did
do
it
it?
politely. He did it politely. He said, "I will send you Mysore pack," and then cut him off.
He did. He did. I
Yeah.
saw, but he let him go on for a while. By the way, like
Hmm.
the clip that you saw, that 2 minute clip, उसके पहले भी 10 minute के लिए यही चल रहा था. And
Hmm.
he literally called him stupid to his face, by the way.
Hmm.
And he called Motor stupid and then said that, oh, you are with those people and all the things. I was like, kya ho raha hai? He said that your book is a piece of trash and you
Which
should
book?
retire. He wrote this election book, na, 2020, like
Ah,
2019,
ah.
whatever election,
How?
2019.
I remember. Yeah.
So he's like, oh, you should write your third book and already declare BJP with. वैसे भी who reads that piece of trash? Like it's such a piece of. You should retire. You're turning 58. Apparently, it was his birthday also. So he like, I was like,
Whose
what is
birthday?
happening? Rajdeep's birthday.
Oh, it's a
Someone told
Rajdeep.
me. I was like, okay, that's a bad thing to say on his birthday. I was like,
What I
poor
don't
thing.
understand is why he called him a liability. A liability to whom?
Yeah, and he's like,
It's
oh,
not
तुम
like you
अपना
are Rajdeep's
propaganda मत
employer.
करो.
It's not like
Yeah,
Rajdeep is obligated to take career decisions on the basis of your feedback.
and the question that Rajdeep was asking him was like, so this hijab and Bajrang Bali and whatever thing didn't work for you, right? And he's like,
Hmm.
oh, you don't,
So that
peddle
must have
your
made him
agenda and
first of all,
propaganda.
right? Because he's at least partly in charge of deciding the talking points, right? So some of those might have been his creations. So maybe he's like, क्या मेरे issues के ऊपर सवाल उठा रहे हो ऐसा लगा होगा.
Yeah, yeah. But that's one I saw. And other than that, I think I've been watching like the News Laundry ka stream, which was like this sane, full of technical errors but sane conversation about what is happening.
Yeah,
So News Minute, News Laundry, Scroll, Wire, they all
which
came
was a
together
lot of
to do
fun. I
this.
was thinking कि it's a great demonstration of the thing that distinguishes online media from television media,
Mm.
because these are
Mm.
different news organizations coming together to do shows together.
Yeah, yeah.
You will never see this on TV. India
No,
Today and Z will never do a
yeah.
show together. Their anchors will not sit next to each other unless it's some kind of conclave.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And a good 500, 600 people were watching. I think
Yeah,
at one
yeah.
point I saw like 1,000 plus people watching that as well. I mean,
Oh,
India Today compared to that was like 80,000 people watching, but still, I mean, like, you can see that there is an audience that wants to see something like this, which is nice. Like, I was watching it also. There
hmm.
were a lot of technical errors that was very annoying, but ठीक है. I mean, they're
No, election
trying
day पे
this
होता है.
out.
Election day पे
Hmm.
after, like for most people who'll watch, who are not watching like it on like sitting and eating popcorn and watching it, they will not notice. But
Yeah,
you and I will
yeah.
notice because we are like, अभी 2 मिनट पहले कुछ और लिखा था एंड यहाँ
Yeah,
पे बीजेपी की जगह कांग्रेस लिखा है, यहाँ पे एक जीरो गायब है, ये सब दिखेगा.
yeah, exactly. But it was nice, and this gives me hope. पता है 2024
Yeah,
के
yeah,
लिए.
yeah, yeah. By
Like
the way,
someone is asking ना 2024 में
हाँ,
क्या हो
yeah,
रहा है?
yeah. So नहीं ये क्या है? विनोद विश्वम्भरम, who always has great
Mm,
and I mean this sarcastically. Vinod
mm.
says the trend is the party that wins in Karnataka assembly election loses in upcoming general election. Is there data
Oh,
to support this?
I don't know.
ये कहाँ से आया है? इसका source क्या है?
There was this one other rumor ना, remember UP में if anybody goes to Noida to give interviews then you lose, and Yogi ji broke that rule. And there's this like, and so guys, please ऐसे मत करो.
This is like retroactively creating patterns that you can bust.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like our guy is doing something. Let us find a pattern of other people doing this thing, and then only talk about the ones who did this thing and lost, and then use
Yeah,
that as a talking point.
yeah.
ब्लू पैंथर says कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि लोकसभा जीतने के लिए कर्नाटका हार दिया ताकि ईवीएम पे सवाल ना उठाए कोई. यार तुम लोग ना उसको बहुत ज्यादा जीनियस समझते हो.
5D chess.
या इतना
Mm.
नहीं होता. इतना कोई भी नहीं होता, कोई भी नहीं करता। हम लोग के मन में इतना भर दिया गया है कि ये लोग चाणक्य हैं कि हमको लगता है अगर वो मतलब कहीं ठोकर खा के गिर भी पड़े ना, हम लोग कुछ तो सोच के गिरा
Hmm.
होगा। अबे उसके नाक से खून निकल कुछ तो सोच के खून निकल रहा होगा। ऐसा नहीं होता है। समटाइम्स दे जस्ट लूज़ बिकॉज़ दे आर बैड एट इट।
One big example of this is his roadshow in Bangalore, dude. Like, who
Yeah.
does a roadshow in Bangalore stopping traffic? People are already annoyed with the Bangalore traffic, and on top of it, you come in and stop it for hours again.
No,
Like, who
we have
came
this
up?
great tradition, right? Doing roadshow in Bangalore traffic, uh, bursting firecrackers in the middle of Delhi pollution,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, absolutely.
what? You have a problem? Let me come and make it worse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That will
exactly.
make you love me.
Yeah, and you're right. This whole Chanakya, like ye log
Yeah,
Chanakya
yeah.
hai sort of thing. We really need to
It's
stop
a
doing that.
cardboard cutout. It's a
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
shiny cardboard cutout. फूंक मारने पे गिर जाएगा.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
only reason.
Everyone in the election space goes by data.
Hmm,
Everyone does their analysis.
hmm,
It all depends on who did it better and
hmm,
how their strategy was executed, right?
hmm.
So I'm not taking credit away from Amit Shah for coming up with great strategies over the years, but it is something that a lot of other people can also do. We shouldn't forget that. Like, I mean, they haven't been able to do it the way he did, but I feel like people have learned and they might be doing it too. Like in West Bengal, for example, that happened, right? Like his strategy was
Yeah.
beaten by someone else. In
And the
Himachal
West
Pradesh,
Bengal
same
strategy,
thing.
if you like, I'm sure Meghna will remember this. One of the things that the BJP did in West Bengal that was hilariously bad was that they were giving speeches in Hindi all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. Also,
I
like
believe there were reports in News Laundry, if not somewhere else, which pointed this out. That people are coming to hear the Home Minister and are going away saying, "कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा."
no, that happened, right? People were coming to see his helicopters. I mean, that was
हाँ,
much more of a spectacle than the actual speech because he was not speaking in a language that they
yeah, yeah.
understand, right? And even in Karnataka, what I realized and observed was that wherever Rahul Gandhi went, he took a translator with him.
Yeah,
Did you realize that? So
yeah, 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 yeah. Rahul
he
Gandhi,
was
Priyanka Gandhi,
waiting.
Sonia Gandhi, everyone had a proper translator translating their speeches.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not
not
sure
sure
if
did
Narendra
Modi.
Modi did that.
I think he did. I think he
Okay.
did. But again, I was not listening to his speeches much. So
Yeah, but this time it stood out because for me at least, I mean, like he was taking a translator along, and his speeches were not long. Also
hmm.
important. Even
Okay.
today, um, the reactions after the winning. So Mallikarjun Khadge and Rahul Gandhi had very brief comments. And whenever they were asked कि CM का क्या करना है, they said कि we have a process. We don't declare before we have like a whole consultation process. We listen
Hmm.
to people on the ground and then we come to a conclusion who should be CM. That is how it should be
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
and
one of the advantages the Congress had was that when people thought of the Congress, they thought of at least two major leaders, three major, political figures on the national level. इधर था क्या? इधर local था कौन? Bomai
hmm,
seemed to have given up in the beginning. Modi
hmm,
was not talking about any of the issues. Home
hmm.
Minister was talking about Kerala. Modi was promoting a film. It was not much of a campaign, to be honest.
Yeah, it wasn't. And I mean, like, now they're saying that, oh, it's not a referendum on the prime minister. He's still popular.
Yeah.
All the things. How general elections are different from the state elections, which I agree, they are true. But of course, it's a referendum on him. What are you saying? Like he went to campaign there like crazy. I mean, like full on. So of course,
Acha, what do
um,
you think of, hold on, before I get to my next
mm,
question. Apur, thanks for the double exodus. BJP losing was fine, but the tech bros in Bangalore voted for BJP. Why urban voters were BJP while rural was Congress? Shouldn't the educated people have voted against BJP? That is the mistake we make. We assume that education equates with political awareness. It doesn't, especially with our education system. Think about power structures, right? The people who vote in really large numbers, like in certain parts of Karnataka, I believe the voting percentage was 85%.
hmm, hmm,
85%। अमेरिकन लोग छत से कूद पड़ेंगे ये सुन के उनका वोटिंग
hmm,
परसेंटेज 10 से 16% के बीच में होता है कभी-कभी। सो
hmm,
ये जो if there is a party which is addressing issues that affect the lives of people on the ground, and there's another party which is creating issues out of thin air because most of their issues are based on entertainment, then who's going to go for the entertainment? The people who don't have the ground level issues. That is
hmm,
why the privileged always go for non issues, and the underprivileged focus on, things that are affecting their real life, like expenses and corruption and things like that.
Also
Education is
think
not a
about
barometer.
think about the interaction with government, right? It's very important here because educated people do paisa phek tamasha dekh, which is basically we throw money and our problems go away because we have the money. But for the
Yeah.
poor, they definitely depend on the government for welfare, for
Yep.
their daily lives, for their daily incomes, daily matlab itna had tak ki, I mean, price rise say they are the ones getting affected the most because their monthly budget goes for a toss, right? So
Yep.
and plus, accident ho gaya, they slip into poverty, right? So they can only depend on government hospitals and insurance schemes which are by the government to
Yeah.
save them from that happening, right? So in all of these things, you have to realize that Bangalore South or Bangalore, like Koramangala or whatever IT bros, wherever they are, um they don't care, like they don't need to care also, right?
Yeah.
Because they know that पैसा दे के सब कुछ हो जाएगा, right? Similarly with, say, let's say Gurgaon, right? The DLF ke properties, like extremely rich people who live in those flats and all the things, they have their own water supply system, they have their own generators, they have their own power transmission systems, etc. They don't have to care what the Gurgaon government does because again, paisa phek tamasha dekh, right? So
Yeah.
they will vote on the basis of narratives more than, I think, the poor, like national narratives, I would say, or like these.
I think a better word for it is just entertainment. We make
Yeah,
it narrative. It's entertainment. It's
entertainment.
non-issues pretending to be issues of global importance, and nobody except people who have nothing better to do in life care about them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I sometimes fall in the trap, of that,
Yeah.
and I have to actively tell myself not to
Yeah.
do it. And it's very hard, right? Because some of the narratives are very compelling sometimes, like where
Mm.
they just insidiously enter
They're
your
well
mind.
designed. They're well designed
Yeah,
narratives designed to appeal to people like you and me.
yeah, absolutely.
Rakshit says BJP bucks are now trying to portray 100% Muslim voted the Congress, Hindus divided, etc. Yeah, that's because the BJP literally said we don't need Muslim votes. What do you expect? When your leaders come out and say we don't need Muslim votes, Muslims are like, okay. It's not like they
Yeah.
were going to vote, but your people did say this. It's bizarre.
The last part, though, of what Rakshit said,
Huh?
I think I was seeing this narrative also, which is this Hindus divided thing, right? The
Hmm.
secular Hindus have let the Hindus down. This is
Yeah,
another
it's very
thing that
old.
is happening. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very old. It's very old. It's like every time the BJP came to power in a major way in 2014, right? But before that,
Mm,
every time they lost, including when LK Advani lost and all that, this argument is very old. कि हिंदू
mm,
बटे हुए हैं, हिंदू divided हैं. If you go to a Pakistani atheist live stream, you'll find there are mullahs who come and says Muslim बटे हुए हैं. Everywhere when the powerful are battling a little bit of progressive strain, जैसे हम लोग बटे हुए हैं, हमें एक होना होगा, by which they of course mean we all must think one thought and follow one leader. It never
mm,
works. Real life is
mm.
quite diverse.
Yeah.
Richie says it's making me happy and also hopeful. BJP played the usual cards and spread so much toxicity, and people still defeated them. Makes me very hopeful. Meghnad, are you hopeful?
I am. Cannot lie. I mean, days like these make me hopeful. Um,
I
I was
suspect
thinking,
that in 1 week's time we might have to do another live stream in which we're like, अरे यार ये resort politics करके ले गए and सब बर्बाद हो गया. But
but
tell me this.
that's I think that is avoided for now because I mean they'll have to break off a very giant chunk out of Congress now to actually make something
Yeah, I was
happen,
doing the math.
and
If they
then
take
JDS,
everything that the JDS has and they take all the others, they will still not be. And then they will
they
have to take
won't.
a major chunk of Congress in order to do the resort
Congress,
thing. So that seems to be an extremely remote possibility, although never say never. What do you
Maharashtra में
think?
हुआ.
Hmm, hmm.
So we don't.
What
You
do you
were saying?
think? What do you think of EVM suspicions? Do you think EVMs, like in the general protest landscape, in Shaheen Bagh and farmers protest, and in almost every time you go to a small little YouTube channel which is actually doing the tough job of covering ground level feedback, you'll hear from people that EVM सब मतलब hack हो चुके हैं और बीजेपी सब कुछ कंट्रोल करती है. Like
Mhm,
Blue Panther was saying some time ago, डर डर
mhm.
अंदर बैठ जाता है. Do you think EVMs are actually hacked to that extent?
So here's what I think, right? is it possible to mess with the EVMs? Yes, it's an
Hmm.
electronic device. Like
But
any
not to the
electronic
extent
device
where you
can be
can take
messed
over
with.
the entire country.
Exactly. So, like, I mean, you can do it in patches, I feel like. So I feel like a concerted effort to just mass hack EVMs seems a little difficult to do, just based on the procedures that they follow during the elections, right? How many times they change the EVMs, right? How many
Hmm.
times, which booths send EVMs to which stronghold, and how does that happen? So it's difficult to do it. I'm not saying impossible. It's difficult, right? um does it happen? Maybe yes, right?
Hmm.
But does it like completely eradicate the result, and what we think is like completely off? No. In case of a landslide like this, for example, right, if it was a close match, right, if it was like a hung assembly type
Yeah, yeah,
situation,
yeah, yeah.
then like one or two seats make a difference, then maybe it's like, oh, ye EVM mein kuch to bhi hua hoga, to fir kya hua hoga, we can
Hmm.
go into that territory,
Like
maybe.
if it's out of 10, it's 4 and 6, then EVM
Yeah.
can play a role. But if it's 9 and 1, then even if you do apply an EVM, how much advantage are you going to get?
Also, to be honest, like, I don't think you can expect 100% for an election
Yeah.
where there are such high
Oh, right
stakes,
from the
right?
90s, we have had booth capturing and a whole lot of other
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it
yeah.
always happens.
I mean,
Taranga
it has
says, no,
become
this time,
better.
huh?
The election process has become better. It's faster, it's more efficient, more
Yeah.
people are able to vote very quickly, so that's a
Also,
win because of the
I have a
EVMs.
point about EVMs, but I'll get to it after Taranga's
Yeah.
comment. Now, Taranga says, no, this time horse trading will not have much influence because BJP got less than a third. I'm hearing they had less money to spend in electioneering itself this time. Why though? Was it because,
Interesting.
do you think, no, I don't know about this. I don't know where you heard this from, but do you think they had less money because they had already kind of resigned themselves to doing badly in Karnataka, or because their money sources are actually drying up?
I want to check that actually. Let's look at the last electoral bond round.
Okay.
um,
So
we, we,
while Meghna checks that, I'll just say what I had to say about EVMs, which is that technology
hmm.
has a way of balancing itself out. So if it is possible to hack EVMs, it's not going to be the case that only one party can hack it. Technology kind of, it's like water. You pour it, it flattens itself out. The ability to do something always becomes available to everyone over time. So
Hmm.
uh, if it is possible to hack electoral devices, that ability is not going to be limited to one party forever. There is
So it says in 2022.
hold on,
uh,
hold on. So
yeah.
I just want to bust a little bit of a myth here. Isha says there are videos of INC workers finding EVMs and BJP cars before election. There has been a certain number of clarifications issued by the election commission. Please go
Hmm.
look at them. Not all these stories are true. So just be careful what you believe. Taranga says she heard from party functionaries across the ground and local journalists also. It may also have been overconfidence or spending too much only on the PM program. हाँ ये हो सकता है वो रोड शो
that
बहुत सारा पैसा खा गया.
that might be the case, but like what this news article says is from January this year.
Hmm.
It says that in 2022, till 2022 actually.
Hmm.
Is this? No, no. In 2022, they got 57% of the electoral bonds donation.
Hmm.
That's 5,270 crore.
Okay.
Now, if you think about it from a political party's perspective, right? If you are a national party who also has state ambitions, you need a lot of money to sort of do these campaigns across the states. So you have to divide up like a project. You have to actually divide up the amount you have right now between the states and how you spend it. So maybe, like, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, all these elections are also coming before 2024, and plus 2024 itself is coming. So in that way, they will have to also divide that up. So maybe this might be true, but again, we can never know because it's not transparent.
Yeah.
So if it was, I will give you all the answers. But
Yeah, that's
यहाँ पे
true.
तो बस theorize ही कर सकते हैं हम.
So there's this comment from wait, Mogambo, who says two terms are not that long in a political life. BJP can't win every time with central leadership. Their image of being a non-corrupt has been dented. It will have impact. was there ever an image of being non-corrupt though? Or I think that whole cardboard cutout thing, this non-corruption thing, I don't think even their own followers believe.
Yeah, I doubt they do. You're right. Mm, I mean, sure, the petty level corruption continues like,
Hmm.
everywhere you go. Large level corruption, because it's not being reported in the media per se, then there can be like a thing. So the whole thing was Congress was doing large corruption, which is like, scam like for
Hmm.
72,000 crore or whatever. All these Nirav Modi, Malia types, also did like multi crore sort of things and ran away. That never affected them because the narrative that was set by the media, the mainstream media, was always that, "Arey, inki kya galti hai?" They never went after the BJP for this, right? And it was very barely ripple effect हुआ था कुछ उसका social media पे हुआ था obviously, but other than that nobody cares. It's like media में at least it's just like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that media
Even the
manipulation का
Adani
ये
thing.
भी एक हाँ, the Adani thing. Was that an issue at all? I didn't hear it much.
I mean, again, like
Like I,
I
I do
don't
remember
think.
Rahul Gandhi mentioning it कि सब कुछ लेके अडानी को बेच रहे हैं.
Oh, he
But
constantly said this, by the way,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
during
yeah.
this election trail also, that, like Adani, he kept saying that, right? So he was making it an issue.
Hmm.
But the media didn't cover that whole Hindenburg thing properly either. I mean, like they didn't. Also, I feel like our sometimes I feel like our TV rooms are incapable of doing a deep dive into anything. This is very
I was telling
complicated for
someone
them to
yesterday
understand.
only. I was telling someone yesterday only about the state of Indian media. Ki I wish our television channels did as much research as some YouTube channels do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rakshit points out when BJP loses, Modi doesn't get credit. When BJP wins, masterstroke from masterstroke from BJP. Actually,
Yeah.
you will notice a curious thing. Even when Narendra Modi is giving an election speech, increasingly his approach has been don't. It's not that आपका vote local candidate के बारे में मत सोचो, किसी party के
Hmm.
बारे में मत सोचो, बस मेरे बारे में सोचो.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
he's the one who has made it about himself. And the thing that someone was saying some time ago about how the national level thing doesn't always work. You have to worry about the state level concerns.
Yeah. Also, like, if you can't have it both ways, where like, so for example, like before the election day, it's all about like, oh, Modi ka charisma, Modi is such a great man, such a popular man. Uske road shows, oh my god, such an amazing thing, like bachar ho
Hmm.
rahi hai, people are so, like, enamored by him, all the things. He says it, as you said, he says it in speeches also कि ये सब मेरी वजह से है, मेरी सरकार, I will be there, all the things. But when he loses, it's like, अरे उनकी गलती नहीं है. You can't have it both ways, right? And the whole thing about how they replace Narendra Modi's pictures with JP Nadda whenever they are losing, that's
Yeah.
true. It's not
मैं कल
like,
शाम को बोल रहा था कल सुबह हर जगह नड्डा जी के फोटो लगे होंगे एंड
yeah,
that's a you know it's a given because that somebody called out India Today on it. I think Yogindra Yadav it was.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
said
yeah.
he said आप लोग मोदी जी के फोटो क्यों नहीं लगाते and that guy like what is it Rahul Kamal he quickly changed the topic. Yeah,
A
Yogindra
lot
Yadav
of
was
people
all
pointed this
patient.
out, by the way. This time,
Uh,
like, panelists are becoming smarter also. They're not
hmm.
like, taking it lying down. And I feel like they're also like, क्यों नहीं लगा? मोदी जी का photo क्यों नहीं लगा? It's like,
Prajwal says, I feel BJP might lose 2024 elections, but that is if they fall short with the majority, and there is a chance they might form an alliance, but it can go anywhere. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I don't think it's either my case or Meghnad's case that the 2024 election is decided and BJP is going to
no,
lose.
no,
Anything
no.
might happen,
It's super
but
far.
yeah, it's still how many months away?
1 year away. 9
Exactly
months
1 year or
actually.
less
मार्च
than a
में
year.
होगा ना? मार्च अप्रैल में होगा. हाँ, हाँ.
हाँ, तो 1 साल से कम है, 2 महीने
Hmm.
10 महीने लगभग.
Hmm.
Hmm. राइट सो पीपल सम पीपल आर आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस अबाउट अदर टॉपिक्स बट आज हम लोग बस कर्नाटका इलेक्शन डिस्कस कर रहे हैं क्योंकि या इट्स अ बिग थिंग. श्रेया सेज टिपिकल इंडियन पेरेंट्स मेंटालिटी बच्चा कुछ अचीव करे तो क्रेडिट ले लेते हैं बच्चा फेल हो तो उनकी गलती ही नहीं उनकी ही गलती है ऐसे ही बाप नहीं बोलते डम्बलडोर जी को. डम्बलडोर एनीवे सो क्वेश्चन थोड़े ड्राइव हो गए हैं.
Hmm.
There was this other thing that you saw post election I was it was very refreshing to see there was one BJP spokesperson by the name of Guru something who was like
Hmm.
really humble about it. He says, yeah, we lost and we must introspect and everything. But a lot of
I
them
didn't
were
see
not.
that. Like, I
There
mean,
was
that's the thing.
who's the
That's a very rarity, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like,
I saw it on this thing, News 24.
oh, okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
thought it was almost like नहीं ये बीजेपी का नहीं हो सकता ये आदमी ऐसे लगा.
How is this person reasonable? Oh
Yeah.
my god, what is happening?
How where is the denial?
Shocking. Yeah, like today, it was so weird. So like there was this clip of Arnab Goswami. It's like, no, I think we should be humble enough to admit
Admit that
that.
things can yeah.
And he's we should be humble enough to admit that the Congress has not done that well. Okay, I was like, dude, you are almost there, almost,
He did this
and
in
then
Delhi
like
also, right?
he
दिल्ली
did this
इलेक्शन
in
का जब
Delhi
रिजल्ट
also.
दिल्ली का रिजल्ट जब आ रहा था तब ही वाज एग्जैक्टली लाइक दिस नहीं नहीं
Yeah.
on this one see it's like the margin is less than 1000 which means that they still could lose. He's like total
Oh,
high.
I like how like the TV media has almost parody-ish levels were crossed a long time ago, but it's like they're going into fantasy levels now.
हाँ yeah
And it's bizarre to watch sometimes. How like for example Sudhir Chaudhary, right? Sudhir Chaudhary, like do you see that did you see that news of that guy Wankhede who was arrested? Like
हाँ
so
हाँ 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 हाँ
Aryan Khan, the guy who
yeah
basically arrested Aryan Khan, is now getting arrested.
arrested.
Um, I was watching this clip. Someone shared like this two clips. One is of course where he's during the time he was like, "Oh, Bollywood wale sab drugs lete hai," and all the things. And now, like yesterday or day before, he gave this whole thing about how worried his parents might have been by this false accusation against him. I'm like, dude, like ये मतलब तो मतलब how can you switch so quickly, and how can you just completely be so cruel about it, right? I mean, this is cruel, I would say. I both ways, right? You're like, one way you were sort of victimizing the person first, now you're like, अरे उसके माँ बाप को कितनी चिंता हुई होगी because that officer was corrupt. अरे
Hmm.
nonsense. It's
I was generally speaking nothing was going to happen to someone as privileged as Aryan Khan.
yeah, that's true.
It's
Also that.
incredibly like prince level of privilege. Sure, there are the things that happened should not have happened. But
Hmm.
if you throw a rock at an elephant and you throw a rock at a rabbit, I would worry about the rabbit.
Yep,
Yeah, the
agreed.
elephant is inconvenienced, but at the end of the day, you know
But that was a general message to Bollywood, no? Like, we can arrest this
yeah,
guy's
yeah.
son, so be careful what we can do to you
What
also, sort
happened
of
to it?
thing.
Like their war on Bollywood, has it continued or has it stalled or what?
I feel like they don't need to anymore because,
Ah,
and now that I go to Bombay, I know this. I speak to a lot of producer level people. They just don't want to
hmm.
risk it. Political
Acha.
stuff, no. Religious stuff, only if it's in favor of BJP. Some are there, like this Kerala story thing that happened.
Hmm.
But some are just like, we will just not do movies on those subjects anymore. Like,
Mm-hmm.
क्यों
But
risk
then
लेना है?
we still get films like what's this recent thing that has come out?
Yeah, the Afwa, I think, right?
Bheed came out, Afwah
Bheed.
came out. These are
Hmm.
also like, are they
So
not Mumbai made?
there are some who are exceptions, right? Like,
Ah,
of
so
course
there are
there are
always going to be
exceptions.
some only. It's never going to be the case that all of Bollywood is like, will rise up in arms. They have never had that kind of integrity.
No, but
But
for
there's always
example,
going to be some.
I remember this specifically, I think 5 6 years ago, 2016, 2017. That when the OTTs were just coming in, and Netflix became like this global thing, like they made
Hmm.
that announcement. They had pumped in a lot of money into India, and some production houses were interested in pitching political shows to Netflix, right? And they had big budgets. But
Hmm.
Netflix beach mein, after that whole Amazon thing happened where one of their executive got arrested, etc., that is when they cancelled like a bunch of shows, or like
Hmm.
basically put them in the back burner or whatever. So um there was some appetite earlier. Now to they're just like, why are we doing this? We don't want to like touch it, like we'll
Hmm.
wait. But there are a lot of people who I know who are just waiting. They have their scripts ready, they have their things ready. When the time is right, we will basically come out with all of our stuff about like society, politics, culture, religion, all the things, stories that are just in the back
But I
burner.
hope a lot
We'll
of
just
projects
do
are
that.
underway that are going to blow us away when the political winds change.
I know two,
You know of
one of
two?
which
Okay.
I am involved in, so I
Oh,
know
okay.
for sure one definitely.
Please tell me
uh,
it's a political comedy.
It's not comedy, it's
Oh, okay.
drama, but that, I mean, went nowhere, as I told you. uh, but let's see again. वहां से कुछ नहीं आ रहा है, यहाँ से कुछ नहीं आ रहा है, everybody is like नहीं हमको हाथ नहीं लगाना है अभी अभी.
Any हाँ तो
That is,
see the thing about artists is that they may be scared shitless of doing something, but they will not be able to stop themselves from doing it. So they
yeah.
will do it, then they will face a ban, or they will not do it and wait for political winds to change and then release it or something.
Oh, absolutely.
Rakshit says BJP voters don't want development. They vote only for Hindu Khatre Mein Hai, love jihad, Muslim population increasing, Jai Shri Ram conversion, that their holy grail, even if development is only as much as the other. But I was very curious to find out of all the Twitter handles which have hashtag no conversion in their bio, what did they think of Modi reaching out and hanging out with Christian leaders in Karnataka, I think.
Yeah. But this comment, I do not agree with this.
Okay.
Again, you shouldn't look at BJP voters as a monolith. I feel like, I
Huh.
think we
No,
we do
because
that mistake often.
before Meghnad goes on, I'll just like to point out that in the UP election, you were on ground, right?
Yep, yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
in UP election, Meghna was on ground, and the conclusion they reached that a large part of the BJP success was because of last minute, घर पे राशन पहुंचाने वाले measures.
Hmm.
It was not because every
Pandemic.
single BJP supporters, every single like listen, if a political party is in power, some voters are rich, some voters are poor. The poor actually don't have much choice. If someone does something for them, despite being communal, they'll vote for them.
Hmm.
I'm not against all BJP voters. I'm against the clueless, urban, entertainment-seeking BJP voter.
Hmm.
They're the ones who
But
fall for this shit. Many
that's
of them.
actually the important distinction there, right? Like,
Yeah,
the privileged, entertainment seeking Twitter users, essentially,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, I think that is the class of people who are also sort of pumping the narrative on mainstream media as well, right?
yeah.
It's a self-serving cycle, right? Like, mainstream media picks up things from Twitter, Twitter picks up things from mainstream media, and then they keep, you know, doing this. But then the thing is that the messaging is going across the board, like to even the people who are not doing this, which is the scary thing there. And I feel
Yeah.
like that is what we need to worry about, right? Because the BJP voters, again, as you said, a lot of people are welfare dependent. 80 crore people are dependent on ration even today.
Yeah.
That's not a big, no, small number. If
In
you
a
are
country like
ensuring,
ours, in a
yeah,
country
if
like
you're
ours uh, where in a country like ours where hold on, what is this? Okay, it's automatically start. In a country like ours where one of the major issues is deprivation, it is unwise to think of as communalism as the all deciding thing, even though
hmm,
our airwaves are full of it, because we are the people for whom this stuff is targeted. We are the ones on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter anymore, but our our variety of people are on Twitter. Our variety of people are the ones who are watching the uh, internet propaganda that is being peddled. Many people
and
don't have
also
these issues at heart.
think about it, right? Like, if the previous party was giving you ration, let's say 4 kilos of rice, the new party gives you 5 kilos of rice. It makes such a huge difference to you, as a person who is dependent on ration, that you are like, yeah, obvious choice, who am I voting for?
Hmm.
That matters. And if
Yeah.
that 5 kilo is actually ensured that it comes to your doorstep, or like you actually get it on time, that is a big deal. And BJP has ensured that. I mean, like, let's not kid ourselves, they have. So it works.
Harsha says, I got a WhatsApp forward before election praising Modi for 101 good things in it. 62 items in that list was development of Hindu. What? Wait, there were 62
What?
temples listed in that list, or item number 62 was development of Hindu temples? I think he's talking about item number 62, not 62 items out of 100, because that
uh,
even they might have been ashamed to send out.
will they even be able to come up with 62 items out of 100 too? Like, I
ये
mean,
मन से बना के बोले किसी और का मंदिर होगा, ये मोदी जी मेरे मेरे दादाजी ने बनवाया था। नहीं, इसका क्रेडिट हम लेंगे। Rakshit says, okay, Rashid is telling Prajwal, even BJP gives so-called freebies. What is free rations and other things? So not much different from other parties. Only difference is communal majoritarian ideas here. So our
Hmm.
point was that the people who get free rations are not always of the communal variety. They simply don't have any other choice.
Yeah.
We don't live in a country where everyone makes decisions on the basis of, the topics that we urban Indians consider important.
Hmm.
Right. So we are at the 1 hour mark. I think after a little bit, we can end today's live stream.
Yep.
Before I talk about the final few things with Meghnad, let me just remind you of the fact that you can join this channel by clicking the join button below and become a member and support this show. And your contributions help me buy books, software, and pay my bills.
Hmm.
So thanks in advance. Everything else is in the ticker. Just do that. Buy a t-shirt and go support me in my blog and all that.
I have a question for you.
Huh.
Why did you quit Twitter?
It wasn't adding anything to my life, and whatever little it was adding was having a detrimental effect on my mental health. I would log on to Twitter, and within 5 minutes I'll get angry. I made a video about this that's on my main channel. I
Hmm.
have left Twitter करके, and मेरे अकाउंट के ऊपर इतना, I don't want to call it shadow banning, but one utility that I had from Twitter was that I could share links to my live streams and my videos and my podcast on Twitter. But even those are not getting me much. So, like, for someone with 26,000 followers, I was getting like 4 clicks or something.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it wasn't a good time investment. Plus, Elon Musk is a hideous, disgusting person, and I don't like him. And every decision he's making with respect to Twitter is turning the platform into even more garbage. And I
Hmm.
felt like I read this editorial by Casey Newton on his newsletter Platformer, where he says that
Hmm.
why are more journalists not leaving Twitter? And
Hmm.
his answer was that people keep thinking that they need Twitter, but the truth is that Twitter needs you more than you need Twitter. You're not getting much out
Hmm.
of Twitter, and Elon Musk is actively working to devalue news organizations. So I figured
Yeah.
I'll just yeah, I dropped it.
Interesting. No, I've been also thinking about this, huh, Vimo? Like I've been
Please
thinking
leave
about
Twitter.
whether I should
Please
leave
leave
Twitter.
Twitter.
Hmm. How different is it now? Like
Not much.
so you said that you also left Instagram, right? Or
No, I'm on
no?
Instagram. I haven't deleted my account, but I feel
Hmm.
like I might not have to. They will delete it. Every time I
Yeah.
post something about caste, someone reports it as hate speech, and I get a note. Yeah, you can't say this. When all sorts of crap is freely roaming around on Instagram. But I have
Right.
kind of gotten to the point where Instagram पे मैं थोड़ा allegorical, metaphorical चीजें ही post करता हूँ.
Hmm.
But one of these days, I'm gonna lose my temper and write something and then get banned. So that day is of sure as morning coming
Yeah.
soon.
I was also thinking.
I'm going to focus on YouTube. I'm going to focus on YouTube and my
Yeah.
podcast and my newsletter. That's it.
Yeah. That's
Why are
what
you
I'm
thinking
also
of?
thinking of.
Why are you thinking of leaving?
I'm thinking of utility as you are.
Yeah.
Um, so I used to get very angry with Twitter. Now I get very entertained by it. Basically, it's like
Mm,
my TikTok.
mm,
I do have to say it is becoming extremely addictive. Like the
mm,
kind of things it's showing me on a day-to-day basis because of the new algorithm. It's
mm.
actually something that I'm interested in, or following, or I just end up reading something
Yeah.
as a result of it. It doesn't take me out of the platform much. That is true. It's just like inside the platform, people are writing more, doing more, etc. Videos also.
Mm.
When I see my click through rate outside, it's very less.
Yeah.
Like again, I have a giant amount of followers, but at the same time, when I see like 15 clicks, I'm like, wait, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like
Exactly. Exactly.
1.6k followers, but like
And on
1.6
top
L
of that,
followers, but like 15 clicks. What is this? Like
like, listen,
it's a little
we're
shocking.
using Twitter not because we're in love with the people who run it. We want to get something out of it. We are content creators. We want to get something out of it. Now,
Right.
Twitter for a number of years has been a free source of, chat or chatter. And then all of a sudden we are like, hey, you should pay us money to be able to post an article on Twitter. A, who's going to read it? B, Elon Musk is not the genius most people think he is. He
Hmm.
did two things that worried me more. Like, he's done a ton of things that worried me, but he started redirecting searches for Substack to newsletter, which means that if he doesn't like a news source, he will just block the links to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I am in no mood to give control like that to a jackass like that.
Hmm, hmm.
Secondly, uh, what was the other thing? Yeah, he had this brilliant idea where he was like, we are going to allow you to charge for news items on Twitter. So you're scrolling, you will see a news
Yeah.
headline and there'll be a button on it. भैया वो काम नहीं करता। ये आइडिया लोगों को 15 साल पहले आया था और ये आइडिया फ्लॉप
Hmm.
होके डूब चुका है। तुमको अभी
Yeah.
आइडिया आ रहा है एंड यू आर लाइक आई एम सच अ जीनियस, आई एम गोना चेंज द न्यूज़ इंडस्ट्री। नो, इट्स बीन ट्राइड, इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क। Because if you are scrolling on Twitter, at some point of time your brain will kick in and said, I'm spending too much money.
Yeah.
You buy $1, then another, then two more dollars, then $5. At some point you're like, नहीं नहीं, ये ज़्यादा हो रहा है, and you'll
Hmm.
stop. You'll remove your financial credentials from Twitter. It is a much better idea to put things out for free and say, tell people, if you like it, pay. If you don't like it, you
Hmm.
don't have to pay.
Hmm.
Because information should not be behind paywall. News, especially, which is a public utility, should not be behind a paywall. And Elon Musk in
Hmm.
his genius, like either desperation or quote unquote genius, is just ruining Twitter.
Mostly desperation. Mostly
Mm.
desperation. Yeah.
He doesn't know
But
what
yeah,
he's doing with Twitter.
I get where you're coming from. I'm also thinking there's also the sunk cost fallacy, which is active in my head right now. It's like I've invested so much time and effort into gathering such an audience. Should I
Mm.
just let it go like this? That's
Let
that's
it
also like a little.
go.
Yeah. I am. Yeah, it's hard, man.
I
It's difficult.
suspect. So let me tell you what it will entail. You will hesitate a lot, and you'll probably not do it. But if you do it, it will come with a lot of withdrawal symptoms and a sense of, oh my god, what have I done? So
Yeah,
keep all that in mind before you do it. Don't make
I
don't. I didn't
realize.
take the decision lightly. I'd been thinking about it for a year at least.
Hmm.
I'm sure you have also been thinking about it for quite some time, but
Yeah.
you know,
I'm trying
also,
to do the subscription thing. So like I paid for Twitter Blue. I'm trying to do like the subscription and seeing if maybe वहां से कुछ utility आता है. If
yeah,
that doesn't work, then I think
try
my
it out.
decision is
Try it
made.
out, and when you do delete Twitter, keep your username. Like create a blank
Yeah,
account with your
yeah,
username, and
yeah,
otherwise someone will just become me Meghnad and post shit
yeah.
that you'll get blamed
Absolutely,
for.
absolutely. That would. Tushar is saying don't do it. Thanks, Tushar.
Okay, I am not going to take any comments that talk about Kerala Story because I am not going to promote that film. So yeah, sorry about that, Rahul Rayasan, and thanks for being a member. So
Watch the
before I
Dhruv
end,
Rathi video.
yeah, if you want to, I'm not going to talk about that film at all because this is
Yeah,
how they like the reason someone makes a movie like this is because they know they will have to spend less on promotion, and no, I'm in no mood to become part of someone's promotional mechanism.
good
Uh,
call.
so yeah, thank you everyone for joining today's live stream, which was about nothing important. And thank you,
Nothing
Meghna, for
important.
joining and talking about
Yeah,
all this. Before I end, again, a reminder, click the join button and become a member of the live stream. We talk about things like this on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and at 8 p.m. on Saturday also. Meghnath is not a regular fixture, but he's a friend of the family and he keeps joining whenever he wants.
yeah. I use this as my personal venting board, if you want to call it that way. Yeah. So thank you so much,
Feel free.
Vimoh. Thank you.
Feel free to join anytime you want, man.
Yeah. Chalo. Bye bye.
Chalo. Bye bye, everyone. Bye. Mm, 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 mm.